Hey there, Python pioneers, and welcome to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to install Python third-party modules using PowerShell, Terminal, Command Prompt, whatever operating system you're on, it doesn't matter. Open up that shell environment and you can actually install third-party modules for Python. Now, if you come down here, I'm on Windows 11, and I type in python.exe and press enter. If you do that and it says, hey, Python's not installed, you did not install Python correctly. Go back to one of the first videos in this series and watch how to install Python. The important thing you need to do is make sure that Python is on your path. When something is on your path, is part of your path, that means that the executables in that folder that is on your path are available anywhere on your computer. So even though I'm in C users CPLWA, the python.exe executable is available to me just by typing it in. There is no executable called python.exe in this folder that I'm in right now in PowerShell, but I can use it because it's on my path. So if you didn't add Python onto your path, go back to that first video where we install Python and do just that. Anyways, so we're going to clear this and let's talk about how to install third-party modules on PowerShell on Windows 11. If you're on Mac, you can follow along. If you're on Linux, you can follow along. You're going to run the same commands, but you're going to do them in Terminal. Now, when you type out Python, there's two different things that might happen. One, you might not have Python as an alias for Python 3, first of all. So if you type out Python and your computer doesn't know what you're talking about, you might need to type python3.exe. Or you might see, like, for example, I just did that and it's telling me, hey, do you want to install Python? You got to figure out what you have aliased on your machine. I have python.exe. You can do tac version like that, and it will tell you what version you're using. So I know that python.exe that I'm referencing here is the right version. If you have multiple versions, this is important because what I'm about to show you is how to install third-party packages for a specific version of Python. So now that I know that my Python that I reference when I type python.exe is 3.12.1, I'm going to type tacm. And this is basically saying, hey, I want to run this command for Python, and it's going to be for this specific 3.12.1 version, and I want to do something special. I want to use a program called pip, and this is the Python package manager that allows you to install third-party modules. What's a third-party module? Well, we've been using out of the box standard modules that come with Python when you install Python. All the things you use where you type in import and we've never had to install anything. Well, sometimes people write their own modules, and it's better to try to not reinvent the wheel where you don't have to. So there's a lot of really awesome material out there. You just have to go out, find a module that you want to use for your project, install it, and then in your Python code, you can import it. So before you use pip, though, to install a module, you need to make sure that pip is up to date. So the first thing we're going to tell pip is we're going to say, hey, pip install. We're going to give it a special flag. We want you to upgrade. And you can do this for any module. So if you had another module and you want to check and make sure it's the most up-to-date version, type python exe tacm pip install tac upgrade, and whatever module name you want, you can type it out. In this case, we actually want to install an upgraded version of pip. If I do that and press enter, it's going to go and get the most recent version that's available and install it. So at that point, I have the latest version of pip installed. You want that so that you get the latest version of all the other apps you install. So always make sure you install the most recent version of pip before you install anything else. But now that we have that, let's actually look at, in general, how do I install another module? So we want to use the requests module in our next video. So before we do that, we need to install the request module. And all I'm going to do is type out python.exe tag m space install space requests. Press enter and it will go out. Bam, it just did it all that fast. If you ever try to run the same command twice like this, it will just say requirement already satisfied. That means that you already have that package installed. And there you go. That's how you install third-party modules in the terminal. You can do that in PowerShell. You can do that in command prompt. You can do that in terminal on Mac and Linux. It will work the same in all those environments. So you just remember, you don't have to do this for modules that are included in the standard library for Python. You do these for third-party modules like the requests module. So when you install a module, you might get a error, or it's really a warning that says, hey, this was installed in a path that's not actually, or in a folder that's not on path. Something along that kind of warning, basically saying, you installed this in a place that's not on your path. So I don't know if you did that on purpose, but just letting you know. If you see that warning, all you have to do is take your path and that it's saying that's not on your path, which will be the path to Python. I'll show you. And you're going to add it in. So on Windows 11, you're going to add it into your path by editing your environment variables. So if you click on the magnifying glass and search for edit the system environment variables, or like I did, just type in environment variables, click on edit system environment variables. That's going to open up the system properties window, and you're going to click on environment variables at the bottom here, this button. That's going to pull you up with all the environment variables for your environment. And you're not going to have the same ones as me, but the important one here is path. So these are my user environment variables, and the path is the one that we want to update. And if I pull this to the side, you can see that all of my modules are installed in C users, CPLWA, app data, local programs, Python, Python 3.12, right? They're all in that directory. You can see it again here. You can see it again here. They're all there, right? Well, if I go open up my path, the path that you're going to add on is, you should have the path for Python, the general folder here, but you also want to add on the scripts directory as well. And if you add those two in, you should be good. To add a new one, all you do is click new and paste in the path. Make sure you don't have extra quotes on there or anything like that. But other than that, throw it in and you should be good. Add the new one in the path. Be very careful modifying any of the other ones. Don't get rid of something unless you know for sure that you don't need it, because you might break something. So generally just, you can add new ones on, that's fine. And, click OK, click apply, click OK. Just get through all these, like, OK, apply prompts. And you might need to log out, log back in for that to take effect. It won't immediately take effect until you log out, log back in. But that's all you have to do. If you're on Mac or Linux, you're going to need to export the path variable and do that. Like on Linux, you'll do that in your bashrc file, the .bashrc file. I'm not going to go over that right now. If you want to, you should, if you're on Linux, Google it. Google how to update your path variable. All you're going to have to do is say export path equals, and then you're going to put path and put it in there. But that's not the purpose of this video. So I'm going to show you on Windows. Best of luck to the Linux users. If you're out there. Same thing for Mac. Just look it up. It's pretty straightforward. All you're doing is adding it onto your path. Add that scripts path on there and you should be good. Thanks.